My name is Colleen, and this is my kitchen. Believe it or not, this was me 4 years ago. I struggled with my weight my entire life. And finally, I came to the realization that diets don't work. By simply eating healthy and moving more, I was able to lose over 100 pounds. I started at a size 26W, and within about a year and a half, I went to a size 12, no W. And best of all, I've now kept the weight off for over 2 years, and counting. So now here I am in my kitchen showing you how you can eat healthy and lose weight just like I have. Because if I can do it, you can too. Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. I have a fantastic Asian-inspired dish that we're going to be making today. And we're going to be making a red curry coconut tofu stir fry over brown rice. It's really simple, easy to put together, makes for a great meatless Monday dinner. And the thing that sets this apart is we're going to bake the tofu first before putting it on top of our stir fry. I love to bake my tofu up. It makes it a little bit crispier, holds it together more instead of disintegrating into the stir fry. So let me show you how we're going to get this started. To start, we want to go ahead and mix up a marinade for our tofu, and I like to let the tofu sit in this overnight to really let it soak in those flavors. It's going to start with a 1/4 cup of plain, non-fat Greek yogurt. I like to put this in there because it adds a little creaminess to it, and it makes that marinade really thick so it coats it really well. Then to that, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of light coconut milk. Make sure you use the light, not the full fat, to save on some calories. Then I have a mixture here of 1 tablespoon red curry paste, 1 teaspoon of fish sauce, and 1 teaspoon of turmeric. And we're going to add that into the dish here. Give this a good stir so that it gets combined. Next, let's add the juice of half of a lime. Squeeze that in there. And give that a good stir. For the tofu, I'm using a 7-ounce block of extra firm tofu. You want to make sure to use the extra firm so that it'll stand up. If it's too soft, it'll just fall apart in the marinade overnight. But the extra firm stands up really well. And I'm just going to slice this into strips. They're, I don't know, about 1/2 inch to 1/4 or 3/4 of an inch. Just like that. And then once I get those cut, I'm going to lay them in here. Make sure they get really coated in that marinade. And then I'm just going to cover this dish and let these sit in the fridge overnight. So we'll come back tomorrow and finish up the rest of this recipe. Our tofu has been sitting overnight in that really pretty kind of pinkish colored sauce that is that red curry paste, coconut milk, and yogurt that we mixed up last night, as well as a few other things, but you get the gist. I have my oven preheated to 425 and a baking sheet that I've greased with just a little bit of grapeseed oil to keep the tofu from sticking. And all I'm going to do now is take these pieces out and lay them on my pan and then put this in the oven. Now I'm going to let this cook for 15 minutes total. I do like to turn these pieces of tofu about halfway into through the cooking process just to make sure that they get nice and roasted up on all sides evenly. While the tofu is sizzling away in the oven, we're going to get started on our stir fry. And I'm really excited to be using my new Analon stainless steel pan skillet that I won at the International Food Bloggers Conference. I absolutely love this because it's stainless steel, so it cleans really, really easily. It heats very evenly. It has this great copper bottom, and absolutely love it for cooking. So I am heating about a tablespoon of sesame oil in here, and to that I'm going to go ahead and add a half a cup of carrots that you can see I've sliced into these thin strips. Let's add 1 clove of garlic. I'm going to press it in. You can also mince it in. And then last but not least, a pinch of coarse sea salt. I'm going to let this cook for just maybe 2 minutes, just until these carrots are slightly al dente. Now that the carrot has cooked up a little bit, let's go ahead and add 2 cups of red cabbage. Don't know why they call it red cabbage, because it sure does look purple to me. You can see that I sliced it in these nice thin slices. And then we're going to add 1 cup of sliced brown or crimini mushrooms. Let's go ahead and let these cook just until the mushrooms have released their water. Shouldn't take more than, I'd say 3-4 minutes tops. Okay, those mushrooms are starting to lose their water, so we're going to go ahead and add a 1/4 cup of shelled and edamame beans. These add a nice little boost of protein, but I also love the green color that they add to the stir fry. And then we're going to add a 1.5 cups of bean sprouts. And I'm only going to let this cook for maybe a minute more, just to allow the bean sprouts to cook down just slightly. Once those bean sprouts have cooked down, I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of that light coconut milk, the same milk that we used in that in the marinade over that tofu. And then we're going to add a tablespoon of red curry paste. And this is just going to pick up a little bit of flavor from what we'll be seeing in the tofu or tasting in the tofu. It's going to add a little bit of spice to the dish as well. Let's go ahead and stir that in, get it nice and blended in there. And then once that's blended and heated through, we are ready to serve this up. Now that everything's cooked up, all that's left to do is to serve this up. This meal is going to serve 2 people, and I have pre-cooked 1/2 cup of dry brown rice, just cooked it according to package directions. So I'm going to go ahead and start with some of that rice. And then some of the stir fry here. Look how nice and colorful that is. Don't want to lose out on that lovely sauce that we created as well from the coconut and the red curry. Okay, and then I have these lovely pieces of tofu that have baked up. I'm just gonna put some of those on top. For a finishing touch, I have some green onions. I'm going to put, I'd say roughly a tablespoon of green onions onto each serving. Then I have that 1/2 lime left over as well from that marinade that we put the tofu in. So I've wedged that up. I'm going to use a 1/4 segment of that and just drizzle that lime juice right over the top. How perfect is that? I'm going to go sit down and enjoy my dinner. I hope you'll give this a try. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time in my kitchen.